Doing a few more minutes with Wayne Paul because this issue he brought up is so important. It's a case I followed closely, and I didn't know he was ready to talk about it because at the time, being involved in the court case as an expert witness, he didn't want to discuss it. I should have gotten to it earlier in the interview. Another expert on gold and currency and the markets is Bob Chapman of the International Forecaster. I'm Alex Jones of Infowars.com. And under federal law, 1985, and there's other congressional laws, you can trade in gold and silver and pay people in its face value. So if it's a $10 coin worth in Federal Reserve notes, say $550 right now or $600 or more, then the supposed, tax rate of that would be 20 or 30 or whatever the percentage is of that amount. But then some experts look at it and say, no, it's not even taxable. Regardless, Wayne Paul went and was an expert witness, and now they're auditing him. This is what an evil, oppressive, Soviet-style group the IRS is, that they would persecute people who even testify in court as a CPA. This is the type of dirty tricks this criminal organization engages in and drives people to madness. But Wayne, finish up your point. Boil down the essence of why gold is the solution, and we'll put up this website you were plugging that has a lot of key info on it.
Well, when I was a witness, I also prepared the tax return for the defendant. And he had instructions from a federal judge that he had to prepare a return based upon the fair market value of the coins he received. And I turned around and said, as a professional, I had to prepare it based on the face value. So I prepared 2 tax returns for the defendant.
Because that's the federal law. You were following the congressional law, and in the Constitution, it's the Congress that's over that. They're the boss, not the IRS that works for foreign banks.
So I prepared 2 returns, and we couldn't decide what to do, so we sent him to the attorney sent him to the IRS, so the IRS would tell us which was the correct one. And guess what? They never answered our question. And so at trial, the prosecuting attorney says, why did you turn around and prepare 2 tax returns? And I said, well, that's a dumb question, but I'll answer it anyway. I said, the judge here, and I pointed to the judge next to me, he said the defendant had to prepare it on fair market value, and I said I had it prepared based upon what the law said. And I said, Mr. Prosecutor, if you were sitting in the defendant's chair, wouldn't you want to have all the ammunition you could get in order to defend yourself? And, of course, he didn't like that as an answer, but I think a few people in the courtroom understood what I was trying to say.
Well, cutting to the chase there, because this is so important, what was the outcome of the case?
The outcome of the case is one person was acquitted. The other one that I was a witness for got sentenced to 4 years, but is out on bond pending appeal. The third gentleman got something like 20 years, and he's in jail, but everything's under appeal right now, going up to the federal, I believe it's the Fifth Circuit, if I'm not mistaken.
Unbelievable. Let's bring Bob Chapman up talking about this. Bob, from your research, talking with Wayne Paul, CPA, and brother of Ron Paul, the congressman, what's your take on this whole case?
Well, they don't care what the Constitution says.
Amen.
They have their own method of operating the court system. And unfortunately, you have no rights. And by going to court, you might conceivably win, but the chances are very, very strong that you won't, because judges do what they're told to do. Most of them are appointed, and so, especially in federal district court, and so, you don't get a good day in court.
Yeah, we have the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals 2 weeks ago ruled there's no Fourth Amendment. Police can come in your house without a warrant now with no probable cause. I mean, this is insane.
Well, what it's going to lead to, unfortunately, ultimately, is probably anarchy. And, maybe that's the intention of the power behind government. I personally, because of my political activities, was audited 12 years in a row. And I never was found to owe tax. And, of course, that's illegal. Because if they find that you do not own tax, they can't audit you on the same items for the following 3 years. They do it anyway.
Well, that's like, the government accounting office and others, 80+% of the letters they send, they're wrong. Even in their fraudulent system, they're wrong. And then they never get in trouble for it. And then when they audit you and it costs you all this money to go through the audit, they don't get in trouble. But as a private citizen, you frivolously sue somebody, you can be opened up to serious liability. I mean, this is just a lawless, disgusting, filthy group. We'll talk to Wayne Paul again soon as this case continues to unfold. Wayne, we appreciate your great courage and your tireless fight against the New World Order.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Say hi to Ron for me next week, okay?
I'll do it.
All right, take care. There he goes, another great Texan.